Yo, what's going on? Hey, if y'all didn't see the post on the live stream, happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there who show up and make a difference. Shout out to you all. I'm Marcus. We do attorney reactions here, and today we are going to talk about something that's kind of wild. Some very young YNs shot up a party. Now we're going to take a look at this video. They're in front of a judge at a juvenile court. These two young men are being charged. We're going to talk about that. But let's dive into this video, and I'm going to tell y'all about this judge's reaction and how, after a while, it'll probably die down for persons in similar situations. Let's go and check out the live video. Let's get it. Then we're going to talk about it.
And 14-year-old, some brothers are in custody after police say they shot up a birthday party.
But all the people you're trying to impress, guess what? Ain't none of them where you're sitting right now.
That's the judge.
Look at these two kids. They literally kids, 13 14 years old, and now their life is essentially ruined. And when crimes like this, charged as an adult, you are going to go away. You are going to do some time. It's not a matter of, well, but possibly arguments, smarguments. Nah, they're going to have to get their toothbrush. It's terrible that these kids are that young. Thank goodness from the reports, we aren't hearing that they were anyone shot or ultimately deleted, which is a great thing. But the judge is having a real reaction right now. If y'all see this video, this judge is like going in like, yo, nobody's where y'all at. Like, you can tell from the look on the judge's face that she's concerned and she's actually trying to get a point across to these young men.
That they appeared before, who told them she sees too many young people with guns running and ruining their lives. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Clayton County. Tom, that judge seemed disturbed, to say the least, over how the young defendants, how young they are.
Yeah, that's true, Karen. Judge Latrivia Case Johnson said the brothers look like babies. She told them that she has children their age. She wanted to know, why is it that so many young men are so willing to pick up a gun and shoot someone?
How old are you, Dwayne?
14,
How old are you, Major?
13.
Clayton County Magistrate Court Judge Latrivia Case Johnson was blown away that 13 and 14-year-old brothers are accused of shooting up a birthday party, wounding a minor. This is video from...
Okay, well, somebody did get wounded. Oh, damn. Wounding a minor? Come on now. I'm going to just be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Do you think they should have been charged with as adults? Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on that. I think if you do big boy shit, you should be charged as the big boys are charged. That's just kind of my take. Y'all let me know. Y'all think that across the board, minors shouldn't be charged as adults? I think it depends on the offense and the circumstances. For something like this, where you pose a significant harm to random ass people within the community, I'm definitely not opposed to it.
From that night.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
We are showing the teens because they are being tried as adults. Police say 13-year-old Major Tolbert and 14-year-old Dwayne Tolbert were kicked out of the party on Pebble Ridge Lane in January because they weren't invited. There was a fight. The judge said one or both of the brothers started firing.
Okay, real talk. So they fire up the party, hit a minor, and they were kicked out of the party because they weren't invited. One, whoever was in charge of inviting people actually were smart and had wherewithal not to invite these two young men to the party. Uh, Clearly, somebody knew that these guys were just bad news. Now, the judge in this case is interesting because she's showing some concern. She genuinely seems upset, and she's actually trying to talk some sense into these guys. Like, you can tell she's trying to give them some type of a message to hope that they maybe get some clarity of like, yo, this was wrong. This is something that we shouldn't be doing. I'm gonna be honest, like, shout out to her for having a concern. But when I was a trial attorney, I had clients trials every day, 10, 15, 20 clients a day as a public defender. I used to be like real preachy. Like, I would have young clients who 13, 14, 16 charged as adults, and I'm just preaching to them and preaching to them. And hey, we are all human. After a while, I just kind of cut that shit out. Like, I had one client, him and his brother, he was probably 14 and his brother was maybe 16. And they were doing something like breaking and entering and breaking into people's homes. And when they got caught, I was representing the older brother. And when I looked at his paperwork and I saw that his co-defendant was his younger brother, I was like, yo, like I was real talk. I had a serious conversation. I was like, yo, that's actually goofy as hell. I had an older brother who, rest in peace, was out there and he would never let me go and get caught up in any crazy nonsense that he was doing. I'm talking about to the point where we actually got in fist fights and he would whip my ass because he's like, nah, you not hanging out with me doing what I do. But I used to preach and preach and preach. But after a while, I'm just keeping a buck. I just kind of got jaded because you preach to these guys, you get a deal worked out, you get a not guilty at trial, and 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, it was just kind of the same cycle. Now, I'm not saying that a person can't change. All I'm saying is that the level of, I guess, care and change that I had, it just kind of declined over some time. I'm still going to represent them zealously. I'm still going to try to cultivate the best legal argument I can. But yo, I'm not preaching to you about right from wrong. You clearly know what right from wrong is. And in this instance, they look like they were alleged to have chosen to do wrong. So the judge is, it's just one of those things, especially, when you older, you see somebody younger, you think like, yo, I'm kind of from the hood or from a block similar to theirs. I kind of know some of the circumstances, but I mean, sometimes people just gonna do stupid shit, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Some clients listen, some didn't. Way more did not listen to the advice that was given or the cautionary tales that were given, more so than the people who was listening. There are very few listened. Most times it was kind of a repetitive cycle. It's sad, but you see, this judge is really kind of distraught by this because these kids are just so young. I mean, hell, I got children. I got a child their age, so I understand where she's coming from.
And then posted it on Instagram what you had done.
One of the teens tried to explain what happened.
Okay, they did it. Then they post on Instagram. They hit a minor. Hopefully, that child survives and can make a full recovery. Completely fine with them charged as adults, as they should be. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have much sympathy for these two young men because they've conducted themselves in a way where they allegedly put the lives of others in harm's way for no justifiable reason. I don't care if you're an adult, if you're a child. They're at an age where they're old enough to know right from wrong, and they chose to do wrong. Now they have to deal with the consequences.
You said about the uninvited part. We was invited. That was our cousin party.
The judge eventually cut him off to prevent him from incriminating himself.
The judge could cut him off, try to prevent him from incriminating himself. Whatever story he's telling to the judge right now, he probably already told to the police officers when they arrested him. He probably already told to the sergeant at the front desk who was booking them into custody or their juvenile detention that they're currently in. So the judge is actually doing the right thing here by saying, yo, don't talk about it. Actually, someone should have been there to say, don't talk about the facts of your case. The only thing we're talking about is court date. What are you going to do for an attorney? And what is your bond going to be? They said they were invited to the party. It was their cousin's party. Somehow they ended up outside of the party. So somebody, be it cousin, somehow another fight started. We don't know the facts and details because there's not a lot of information out, but it's actually sad that an innocent child had to get wounded and have injuries and deal with the trauma from that. All the kids who were there, when bullets start flying, it's traumatizing to the average person. Let's just keep it a buck. Everybody try to act all tough, but nah. When bullets start flying and you don't know where they're going, that's scary. It's traumatizing. I've been at a party like that as a child, and is kind of crazy.
Told the teens she sees too many young people ruining their lives with guns.
Y'all didn't look at the YSL trial?
Yes, ma'am.
This is no joke when you're out here shooting guns.
The judge said these are only allegations at this point, but she said the brothers' lives are about to change.
You will eat when told to eat. You will sleep when told to sleep.
She wished them well and told them she hopes they can help change other teens who find themselves in trouble.
Maybe you have to be a voice for other juveniles.
Those two young men have ruined their lives and impacted the life of the person who was shot and the people who were at that event as well. Um, I don't know. It's just a terrible situation. It's terrible to see kids putting themselves in this situation. And then some of the circumstances that kind of lead to this. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, if I had to guess, I don't know the history. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all found more information on this story. But not all the time. There's some people who come from really structured environments who do stupid shit like this. But normally, you kind of see the same thing. It's a broken home. It's poverty. It's a lack of education. There's a lack of economic resources. Most times when bad decisions and shit like this happen, there are those factors that impact these types of decisions. I mean, like, statistically, if a family isn't intact, I'm talking about a general, what we know as a nuclear family, statistically, it ends up bad for the child. I'm just talking about the data point. So I don't know the details, but I would be shocked if they came from a two-parent home and they stayed in the suburbs and their parents had jobs where they had enough economic resources to do things that they needed to do and that they wanted to do. That's just normally not the case.
And the judge denied bond for the brothers. They face several charges, including aggravated assault, child cruelty, possession of a firearm. A woman who lives near that party says her home was hit with several bullets and someone in her home could have been killed, except they were upstairs. We're live in Clayton County in Jonesboro. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Even Tom was upset when he came back to the story. He was like, but yeah, I'm just going to be honest. These are children. Hey, prayers to the victims, prayers to all those who impacted. Hell, I pray for the two young brothers who are charged with this. But if the facts are what they allege to be, the judge did the right thing. There shouldn't be no bond. That's a reckless regard for human life and safety. They should not be out on the streets. There's a high likelihood that if you let them out, if they get a bond that they can make, that you probably won't see them again. If they're content with violating social norms and laws to this degree, you think they're going to give a damn about showing back up? Clearly, like, let's just keep it a buck. They're whatever their household situation is, they aren't controlling them. They don't have any control over these children. Not judging the parents, because hey, you could be a great parent and your kid could do some dumb shit because people are individuals. But all I'm saying is, whatever the home situation is, whether it's a traditional home, if it's a family, whether it's a single mom, a single dad, they stay with their grand, whatever the hell it is, they have no control and very little influence of what these kids do. So the judge made the right decision. Y'all let me know what y'all think. The two questions I want y'all to let me know in the comments. And if y'all from Atlanta, shout out. Y'all let me know in the comments. But two questions. One, do you think they were correctly charged as adults? Do you think that teens who are alleged to have committed violent crimes where life is in jeopardy or risk, should they be charged as adults? And did the judge do the right thing in denying them bond? Typically for these types of charges, it's a no bond. I think everything was right. Charged as adults, correct. No bond, correct. Judge being preachy. I stopped doing it because I kind of knew what it was. Most people don't listen, but I understand why the judge is doing it, because the shit is sad. It is what it is. Yo, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, check out the video on the screen. There's going to be more content related to attorney reactions.